Hello, my name is Enzo. Welcome to Coffee with Enzo. Today I have a special guest from Oshawa, also another ex-Montrealer. And what I know about her, she has studied reflexology. She's currently a life coach with a special niche in divorced people. She's going to tell us a little bit more about that. She has an amazing knowledge of flowers and plants. She does work with Bach flowers. And she's a HSP, highly sensitive person. She'll also tell us more about that. So Cherie, welcome to the program. I think it's episode 3.
Thank you, Enzo. I'm so happy that you've invited me to have coffee with you.
And your last name is pronounced Griffith without the silent S?
It's Cherie Griffiths.
Cherie Griffiths, so with the S.
That's right.
Okay. And so tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you get to Oshawa? You're originally from Montreal. What brought you to Oshawa?
No, actually, I'm born in Toronto.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't know this.
Ooh, surprise. And then I moved to Montreal when I was 21. And I thought I would return back to Toronto where all my family is and some of my best friends. And I just moved back here last year and I started a new practice. And I really like it.
Excellent. Oh, and by the way, seeing it's Coffee with Enzo, what are you drinking today?
I'm drinking my special blend of matcha tea.
Nice.
Cherie's secret matcha tea blend, and I find it's excellent around 4 o'clock to revive the energy instead of having a cup of coffee. I like the taste of it. It's rich, it feels earthy, and it's warming.
I did the craziest thing today. I had one of those energy drinks. I promised myself I would never have them, ever. It's stupid. But somebody came by my work and they just dropped off like half a dozen or a dozen of these. And there was one left and I said, today I feel like it. So I tried it and it felt like I was a kid in a candy store. I was literally felt like I was drinking candy. It was so sweet. And it took a while for the buzz to kick in, but it was like having 3, 4, 5 cups of coffee. For a while, I was just like buzzing like crazy. I was hovering.
Oh, and so I'm surprised at you. You're probably going, inside.
I was. Well, I'm cooling off now, but I'm having decaf, you see.
Okay, wonderful.
So you moved back and you said you're enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it. I'm thriving here, meeting new people and networking and just reintegrating myself with a part of my past that I had forgotten. And I'm enjoying because I'm 5 minutes from a beach and I can walk along the beach. I love the water and I'm not far from mountains. Of course, I miss Quebec, but I'm enjoying this place for now.
Of course, you always got to enjoy where you are. You got to be in the moment. So
you have to know where you live.
I'm really curious about your work or why you've chosen this niche of working with separations and actually separated men or divorced men, which I find fascinating because usually it's the other way around. It's the divorced women that need a lot of support. But you have a curious niche. Well, curious. It's just uncommon that someone would give support to divorced men. Tell us a little bit about that. What brought you to doing that?
I actually work with women and men, but I seem to be attracting more men as clients and in that group than women. And I feel that there's a need for men because culturally they hide. Becoming vulnerable as a male and putting yourself forward and needing the help or requiring the assistance of a support coach going through separation is almost something like it's taboo. Men have not been culturally known to ask for help. So this is allowing them the space to be heard and to be supported and to help them heal through their separation and divorce and also to be mindful in their decisions. I felt a great need for assisting men for a long time, and it just seems to be flowing that this is the way my group and my work is going, although I do coach both women and men.
Oh, I didn't know that. Excellent. That's good to know because I feel that men need it because whenever there's a big change in one's life, like a divorce, one loses their sense of who they are. And for men, that's one thing. And the other thing is, I know men, like women, have some nurturing instincts. And when those are taken away, it's like, who am I? You know, what am I doing? It must be difficult.
It is. And what happens with both men and women is they lose who they are, they lose their confidence, they lose their self-esteem.
Yeah.
They really, really sink. And I found that the men sink more than the women. It's shown that women who are in the workforce and working full-time, they are able to be more resilient through a separation. Yeah. They can bounce back quicker than a man. But if a man has been working as, you know, the breadwinner and he has a job, then his job is at stake too because he can't focus as much. There's a huge distraction in the workforce with the anxiety and the stress and the distractions and the focus. And more of the men are in the workforce, in my particular group, than the women. And they're finding their way back home and building their resilience and their strength, it's reconnecting to their values and who they are through the anxiety and helping them to stay calm again, make their decisions mindfully. I help them to ground, I help them to center, I help them to see what they're doing in the future as a coach. And it's been wonderful. I'm enjoying this so much. I feel it in my heart, and I have a lot of feedback that they're feeling the rebuilding of their lives step by step, and it's all through a very mindful stepping process.
Excellent. And you do this one-on-ones, obviously. Do you also do this through Meetup at all?
I do mostly meetup groups, and I do one-on-one coaching combined with reflexology and acupressure and all the other little tools in the toolbox.
Mm-hmm.
I do online calls through Zoom. So I have an online call for anybody who wants some support this month on November the 16th, and that's going to be globally. I facilitate global calls. Not very often, but I do mostly groups.
Do you want to share the name of the group, the meetup group?
It's called Holistic Separation and Divorce Support. It's a meetup group, even though it's based in Oshawa, and the people who come to the group are based in Oshawa, Whitby, Scarborough, and nearby. This particular one is going to be open for anyone who is going through a separation and would like some assistance and support in letting go. November is the month of letting go because in traditional Chinese medicine, we're in the autumn element. And the autumn element is the transition between the yang into the yin, the summer into the fall.
Mm-hmm.
The organ that is most targeted or the most sensitive is the lungs and large intestine. And this is why we have so many colds and coughs.
Oh, really?
But
is this why people overeat now at this time of year?
Oh, yeah, we're trying to get warm too.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going through a separation and your stress is on steroids, this season is going to affect you even more. The immune system, the Wei Qi going into that external pathological influences like the wind and going from cold to hot to warm. This is really important to get in tune with your body and the influence of letting go and what it means and some strategies to do that.
Excellent. You mentioned reflexology, and I did at the beginning as well. And that's sort of where I met you, through reflexology. Reflexology
Association of Canada, and I have studied with Dr. Farr Alderson with craniosacral reflexology with you.
Yes.
I use both of them in my work. I have coaching programs where I facilitate coaching and offer body work because I feel that they're a wonderful combination to integrate the coaching and to do the body work, especially on the feet, where we use reflexology to address the nervous system, to the feet, to the brain, and it's very calming.
I like that idea. So you cover head to toe, so to speak. What else? You talked about acupuncture. You do acupuncture?
No,
Acupressure?
Acupressure. I've graduated from NHC
Okay.
in body-mind acupressure and reflexology and craniosacral therapy and all these other tools. I'm an RMT too in Quebec, and
That's right. I thought so.
yeah, and I practice stone massage and stone therapy, as I've studied that too. So I incorporate a lot of stones in my work, and I'll often use reflexology and then tuck stones in at the same time. So my
Excellent.
work is very grounding.
Okay. What is an HSP?
Oh, it's a scary term, isn't it? Oh, it's woo-woo.
Well, being Halloween.
I know, we're just in time, aren't we? HSP is a highly sensitive person, which is a term coined by Dr. Eileen Aron in the late 1990s. And what she found was about 20% of the population, both men and women, have a highly sensitive nervous system that is more alert and more observant and more intuitive than the rest of the population. They're the ones who, you walk into a room and they notice things other people don't notice.
Such as?
Such as crooked pictures, or they'll notice people, how they dress, and they'll notice furniture arrangements, and they'll notice aromas. They're more observant, and this is because the serotonin levels in our neurotransmitters is it's got to do with the shape of them, and they're more on alert. So consequently, it's a gift, but also they need more downtime. They get drained more easily. I need a lot of downtime. Even after a 3-hour coaching session or a meeting, I need to rest and just ground myself again and really come back to center and have no distractions. So it's a little bit different than an empath. An empath is someone who feels the pain of someone else and can really tune in. The person who is a highly sensitive is more, they have an extra stimulation of their sensory system. So like Halloween, like if I had one of those energy drinks that you had earlier, I'd be awake until tomorrow morning.
Wow. Well, who knows? Maybe I won't sleep tonight. I don't know.
Well,
what else?
Well, we had a talk about you when I was in Montreal a few weeks ago, and we met for coffee then. And I think that you're a highly sensitive person too.
Yeah, I think I have a touch of that. I'm not sure 100%, but that's a good segue into my next question. How do you diagnose someone?
It's not a diagnostic tool. There's a set of questions on Dr. Aron's website.
Okay.
I believe it's called the Highly Sensitive Person Organization. And if you answer yes to, I think, about 16 of them, you have the tendency to be highly sensitive. And this is also a group I like to work with because they need the calmness through separation, being able to focus and stay mindful and be able to sleep at night too. This is a big problem with people going through separation, in midlife divorce. They really, really need to look after their health more than any other group. There's a tendency to, I don't like to say this or diagnose, but the tendency more towards metabolic syndrome and diabetes and heart disease if they don't look after their health. In the prodromal stage, which is a stage of disease that is a precursor to the symptoms, there can be many, many years. So if they don't look after their stress and their cortisol levels down, there is a tendency for them to get, for them not to be so well later on. So it's nipping it in the bud.
And what marvelous tools you have for HSPs with reflexology and acupressure. Those, I think, are really ground them, really get them to relax.
It is. It certainly helps. And so does the training that I have, as I'm trained as a certified divorce coach with CBC College and an Erickson solution focused coach. So these all meld very well together to assist this tribe. Very, very sensitive tribe.
And can you talk to us a little bit about your work with Bach flowers and well, any other natural remedies? Let's put it that way.
I love the Bach flowers. They're pronounced Bach.
Bach.
And I learned that at NHC also, and I went on to study with the Bach Institute. And they are such a gentle modality to help the transition, especially the transition of grief and attachment to the past and loss and building their confidence up again. This is just such a gentle modality that I use. And in my coaching programs, they're all nature-based because I work with the flowers and offer like metaphors with the flowers. Like now you see the leaves falling, but you know, people think the leaves are falling and you got to let go. They're not falling. They are flowing. So nature is something to be observed, and I observe nature. I've studied flowers for I can't remember how long. I know my flowers, and I like to use those as metaphors. And I take my group, like I've offered to take them to the beach, do a mindful walk along the water, or offer to take them out in nature to do forest bathing and really connect to the grounding, because we are part of nature. We are part of flowers. And even the colors of gorgeous flowers are resonant to our chakras, our energy systems.
Yeah, it's amazing how they impact on us, how we react.
It's a vibration. It's all a frequency. So for example, if someone, well, most people who are going through separation have solar plexus issues, and we know that's the brilliant color orange. And so if I'm doing a guided meditation, I might use orange or the color of sun in the autumn, of sunset, to help resonate with that part of the body. And those are just some of the ways I use nature, and buy flowers sometimes when I have meetups.
Mm-hmm. So I'm curious about something. I was wondering if you could explain to any viewers who may know of homeopathy, but might not understand what you do with flowers. Could you give us an example of how they're different or similar?
Okay, from what I know, and I've had minimal studies in homeopathy, like Homeopathy 101. So homeopathy is, it's a modality of like cures like. So in homeopathy, there's the vibration of that particular piece of biology, rocks, flowers, the kingdom of minerals, and they're succussed. Means like there might be one drop of a certain rock, and that's like shaken, and then a drop of that is taken into another vial, and that's shaken like 100 times, and that drop is put into another vial, and that's shaken another 100 times, which formulates the formulas of homeopathy. That's the basis of what I can tell. It would be better to ask a professional homeopathic practitioner. Whereas the Bach flower essences, how you make them is you take a flower, and when it's in its beautiful form, or you take a root, or you take the bud, or even a rock, and you can make an essence by using the sunlight in order to bring the vibration of the flower into spring water, and that, along with brandy, is formulated as the mother essence. So that's in a pea pod how the Bach flower essences are made, and then that mother essence is put into a small bottle. The person takes the drops, but actually there's no flower in it. There's no rock. It's just the essence. It's the penetration of the beautiful vibration. Like, for example, a rose. A rose has a certain frequency. A rose doesn't have a frequency of honeysuckle. A rose doesn't have a frequency of clematis. Clematis and honeysuckle are flower essences. Roses are too, but from another group. Bach is only one. It's only one incorporated branch. I mean, there's Australian essences, there's California essences, there's Alaskan essences. So the Bach are a group of 38 essences in which rescue remedy, which is our most common one, which is for acute situations, is derived from.
Excellent.